So you're probably wondering, like you said, the video. How do we actually get that video? Who here is like trying to get their employees to do it, or you try to go on the camera and your photo ability, like me, it sucks. You're not good at taking pictures. Exactly. So if you've thought any of these things before, then I have something that's going to be very helpful for you that was going to take care of all of this one time. So this is a client we have in Idaho, Snake River Bowl, and they did this, and it came out beautifully. They're a perfect example of it because we're in Pennsylvania, so I can't hire a local photographer that I know to go and do it. A lot of the ones in Pennsylvania, I know someone, but he's all the way in Idaho, and so he was able to do this. So really quick 5 steps. So it's 5 years of content. As long as you don't do any major renovations, then you gotta update. 5 years of photo and video in 5 hours, like of total time, and it's gonna be in 5 steps. So the first thing you need is a shot list. If you want ours, there's going to be a spot at the end. Just text me. I'll give it to you. But this is a list of all the different things you want photos of. If you have a great arcade, you have a specialty drink or really good pizza or a nice concourse, everything that you want to take a picture of, kids having a nice birthday party or adults at a corporate event, all those things we want to take a inventory of. Because what happens is, photographer shows up, it's Friday night, you're busy, everything that you were thinking about goes out the window, and you don't remember it until you get the photos 3 weeks later. And you're like, shoot, why didn't we get a picture of that? And then now you have to do the whole thing over again and spend all that money. But if you just take some forethought, list everything out, and we have our list, I'll give it to you, but add anything else you can think of so that it's all there. We won't forget. Second thing you gotta do is get a photographer. So I recommend getting someone who's like a pro. I'm not talking about like a National Geographic photographer, like someone who's just like decent with a camera. Like they're the person you would say, hey, you always ask them to take the photo of the group. You just need to be decent because this is social media content. And honestly, if you get stuff that's like too professional, it actually works against you because it looks like an ad. It looks too perfect. So just get someone who's decent. Usually we'll go on Upwork, which is like a freelancer website. You just get a couple bids. We also go on Google Maps, type in photographers, and then get like 3 or 4 bids. And whoever has the lowest one to go with. If you can't find a photographer, you can get a friend, or like a niece, 16-year-old niece who's good on Instagram or TikTok, I guess. They can do it too. It's not going to be quite as good, but it's still better than nothing. Because to do this stuff we're talking about, to run ads, you have to have content. You can't just put text up there. So like this is like square one. So if we have to use a family or friend, so be it. And then we use a guy, like I said, in Pennsylvania, Nathan Neary. Probably fly him out here. He's usually $1,200 or so, but anyone who comes from us, he does $400. So with the flight and stuff, it might be worth it for you guys. But I always throw him out there because he does all of ours and it always comes out really well. Because he's done so many now. He's crisp. But no matter what it is, whoever you use, you got to have a photographer. Don't try to do it yourself. We're not photographers, we're providers. Next thing you need to do is pick an evening. I recommend an evening that's about 75 to 90% capacity. If you go on your busiest night, you're going to be in the weeds. You're not going to be able to help them. Your employees aren't going to be able to help them. And they're just going to be on their own because you're going to be too swamped. So pick a night that's busy so it looks good, like it creates a nice impression, like it's not dead all the time. But not so busy that you can't help them create some shots. Because they'll come up with creative stuff, or you got to come over here and take a picture of this, or you ask the family, you got to help facilitate if possible. And then the 4th step is walking through your center. Even with our shot list and all the ideas we came up with, we're still going to come up with a few ideas on the fly as we walk by or see a cool opportunity or a cool shot. Like is there a nice party going on? Like, oh, that'd be a great shot. So walk them through and just show them all the different things that your center has to offer so you can get it. Because we want to get everything we can out of this 4-hour block. So it's 1 hour of prep, 4 hours of photo shoot, and you're good for 5 years. So we want to get as much as we can. So just help them walk through. And then the last step, this is probably the most important step, because if you don't do this step, the other 4 before it will be for nothing. So, and I've learned this from doing it the hard way, just so you guys know. Some of the photographers are like the artist type, and they see themselves as artists, and they want to send you 20 perfect best pictures that they can take in 4 hours. And for a lot of people, that is what they want. Like if you're doing a photo shoot with your family, you want the best pictures that come out, but that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for volume. So you got to tell them up front, here's what I want. I want all the raw video, all the photos, as many as you can, unedited. And if they want to just only give you a few, it's not worth your time or theirs. So ask for all of them. Tell them you want like more than 100 pictures. You want volume, all of it. And then have them put it into like a Google Drive or a folder and just dump all of it in there. Because what we really want is a repository. We want, if we decide we want to run ads about birthdays, we can just go to our repository, go through the clips and find a couple pictures or video clips that match what we're talking about. And now we have 5 years worth of content. If they only send us 20 pictures, we can't really do a whole lot with that. So just make sure that they're aware with that. Because sometimes they'll push back and say, that's not how I work. Just move on. There's plenty of other people out there. So really, really critical point. That one wasn't on my original list, and I learned that the hard way.